Here's bad news for Trump and Republicans ahead of the 2026 midterms. Remember when he was so excited about the so-called
Big Beautiful Bill? Big Beautiful Bill. Big Beautiful Bill.
Well, now that Republicans have passed it, it's so unpopular that he doesn't even want to call it that anymore.
I'm not going to use the term great, big, beautiful. That was good for getting it approved, but it's not good for explaining to people what it's all about.
So what is it all about? It's a big, ugly nightmare that gives tax cuts to the super rich while the rest of us get shafted. Remember this when you vote in the 2026 midterms. First, your health care costs will go way up. To pay for its tax cuts for the rich, Trump and Republicans' big, ugly bill makes the largest cuts to health care in U.S. history, kicking about 15 million Americans off their health coverage over the next decade. About half of those people would lose Medicaid coverage. The rest would be priced out of Affordable Care Act plans. That's because the big, ugly bill lets Affordable Care Act subsidies expire. Without them, individuals will see their premiums skyrocket, some by more than $1,200 a year.
Premium costs, on average, will more than double next year if the subsidies expire.
But even if you're not dependent on Medicaid or ACA coverage, your health insurance could cost more. Why? As more people drop their insurance because it's too expensive, insurers will jack up premiums on everyone else who still has a plan. And with federal funding drying up, hospitals would be faced with steep financial losses. They may stick you with a higher bill to make up the difference. And it's estimated that hundreds of thousands of jobs will disappear, and some hospitals may be forced to close entirely. The second way Trump and Republicans' big ugly bill makes your life worse, drastic cuts to food stamps will hurt all of us.
It's such an old-fashioned term, but a beautiful term, groceries. It sort of says a bag with different things in it.
Trump and Republicans made the largest cut in history to SNAP, better known as food stamps. They are taking food away from about 4 million Americans, including about 1 million children. This is happening as a growing number of Americans are going hungry, while food banks across the country struggle to meet the surge in demand. Independent grocers get a lot of their revenue from customers using food stamps, especially in rural areas. Without that income, they could be forced to raise prices, lay off employees, or shutter entirely. Even if you don't use food stamps yourself, your grocery store might be affected. More Americans going hungry also means less income for the farmers who grow our food. It's been estimated that they could lose nearly $24 billion over the next 10 years. That could push smaller, locally owned farms out of business. As with healthcare, food stamps are good for the entire economy, supporting nearly 400,000 jobs. Third, your energy costs will go up. The big ugly bill gives massive handouts to big oil while cutting clean energy investments.
We don't allow windmills, and we don't want the solar panels.
Moving away from cheaper renewables means that within 10 years, the average household will be spending an extra $170 a year on energy. Remember when Trump promised to lower costs on day one? Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of jobs are expected to be lost due to the rollback of clean energy investments. Billions in clean energy projects are already being canceled, including projects that were nearly completed.
Trump administration has halted work on Revolution Wind, which was set to power 350,000 homes in the Ocean State and Connecticut. The project is already 80% complete.
Fourth, it turns America into a police state. The big ugly bill funnels $170 billion toward immigration enforcement and makes ICE the highest funded law enforcement agency in the country. It funds detention centers run by private prison corporations, hires more masked ICE agents, and bankrolls the completion of Trump's border wall. It creates a surveillance state of license plate readers, spy towers, and drones that can be deployed against anyone, including U.S. citizens. Costlier healthcare, millions going hungry, soaring energy bills, a constant police state. It's all thanks to Trump and Republicans and their big, ugly bill. When November 2026 comes, remember who's responsible for making all of our lives worse.